Hey there, it's Delilah, and today I'm going to be talking about everyone's favorite subreddit, Am I the Butthole? Canonly, as we all know it. Am I the butthole? Yeah, okay, we're avoiding demonetization. Just kidding, we're not monetized. Please watch my videos till the end. You can watch all my videos if you'd like. You can watch them on mute, you can watch them not on mute. You can watch them while you sleep, you can watch them while you shower, so that it always feels like I'm with you in a really not creepy way. And then maybe I can monetize my channel one day, but I digress. We are going to be checking out the Am I the Asshole subreddit, which I'm going to refer to as Am I the Butthole, because I would like to monetize one day and I don't really understand how YouTube works, so we're just gonna play it safe, I guess. I think I'm gonna change my hair first though. I kind of want to do something. Should I give myself a little braid? Okay, so my hair is just like knotted together, so I guess maybe not. I feel like maybe I'm gonna do a little braid. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, the atrocities. I feel like a little gardener today. Like I'm gonna go care for my petunias. What's a petunia? That's a cute little braid. Okay, let me find a hair elastic. I think I have a bunch of little ones somewhere. Oh no, where are my little elastics? Okay, I found my hair elastics and I put on some jewelry, so we will see how long it takes. I don't know if the mic is picking up the plane going by right now, but we will see how long it takes until I become overwhelmed by my newly acquired jewelry, maybe potentially right now while I try to braid my hair and not have them get caught on these rings. Oh, it's going smoother than anticipated. I don't know why I'm speaking like, I was gonna say like royalty, but that's kind of dramatic. All I said was anticipated. Okay, it's a little candy and it has like these tiny little hair elastics in it that always rip your hair out. Okay, but hang on, but wait, it's not over. Crystals, okay, that I have attached to little hooks. Yeah, hang on. Ugh! Please, sir. Okay, hang on. Okay, we are back with an overstimulating amount of jewelry because overstimulation is the perfect thing to add to today's video of reading stupid people. So, alas, r/am I the butthole? Let's get it. We are going to sort by, these will be completely like unseen by me before. I did not curate any of these, so let's go top in the past month. Okay, we're gonna go by title to see what's interesting. Am I the butthole for refusing to help my best friend with her wedding because she didn't make me a bridesmaid? Ooh, that's intriguing. Okay, fine. Fine, I'm baited. Okay, my best friend, 24 female, we'll call her Mary, and I, 24 female, have been close since middle school. We've talked about being in each other's weddings, so when she got engaged last year, I assumed I'd be a bridesmaid. She recently asked me to help with the wedding planning, but she showed me the list for her bridal party. I wasn't on the list. I asked why, and she got awkward and said that she had to make some choices. The party included her sister, her fiance's sister, and a few newer friends that she's known a couple of years. She wanted a small party. I didn't want to make it a big deal though. I congratulated her and I figured I'd still be a guest. But then she started asking me for a lot of help. Things like dress shopping, DIY decorations, venue hunting, making party favors, etc. That is so strange. Why not just add her? Like, why not just add her? I don't get it. Like, you can't afford one more person? And I know that the fiance's sister, like, come on, whose idea was that? Like, whose idea was that? I finally told her, hey, I love you, but I feel weird doing all of this when I'm not even a bridesmaid. She got angry and said that she thought that I'd still want to be involved because we're best friends. Yeah, if we're best friends, why am I not a bridesmaid? Like, I'm not even a bridesmaid. Like, what? Best friends, okay. Where? Like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, I clearly see how much importance I hold in your life. Low-key, she's valid for this. I finally told her I love you, but I feel weird doing this when I'm not even a bridesmaid. She got angry and she said that she thought it because we're best friends. I told her I'd still be at the wedding, but I wasn't going to do all this extra work when she didn't even consider me to be close enough to be in her bridal party. Now, she and some of our mutual friends are giving me the cold shoulder, saying that I'm being petty and making the wedding about me. But I'm not going to be doing bridesmaid level work if I'm not one. Am I the butthole? Low-key, what I would probably do is... like, what's her actual reason? Like, I don't get what her actual reason is. Like, I wish this were one of the posts where, like, the actual bride, like, came on and said something about it, because, like, what is the actual reason for why she can't just be a bridesmaid? Is it a cost thing? Like, I don't get, like, why can't she be a bridesmaid? That makes no sense to me. Okay, the top comment says, hey, I love you, but I feel weird doing all this when I'm not even a bridesmaid. She got angry and said she thought I'd still want to be involved because we're best friends. Not the asshole. She wants free labor from you. She's trying to enlist your help because her bridesmaids probably have either said no, even though that's their job, or because she doesn't want to burden them with menial tasks that she wants to dump on you. The fact that she got angry when you stood up for yourself speaks volumes. Good on you for not letting her use you. This person said, yep, she's definitely trying to use OP. Doesn't sound like much of a best friend. OP, you might think that she's your best friend, but she definitely doesn't think you're her best friend. That's what I was saying. Like, it really goes to show, like, her level of importance in her life. You know what I mean? And who exactly does she think should be her maid of honor if OP is her best friend and has the role of primary helper to the bride? Yup. Okay. Next. Am I the butthole for asking my... butthole. Okay, sorry, it's not funny. Am I the butthole for asking my friends to leave my party because she brought her crying baby? Okay. Let's take a look. I, 27 recently, threw a birthday party at my apartment. It was a pretty low-key gathering with about 10 friends, lots of snacks, a couple drinks, and just a night of fun hanging out. Everything was going fine until my friend, Sarah, 28 female, showed up with her 7-month-old baby. Which, like, that's, like, not an environment for a kid necessarily. But now I love Sarah, and I know she's a mom, but I wasn't expecting her to bring her baby to the party, especially since we had planned to play games, drink, and chat. The baby started crying almost immediately when they walked in, and Sarah tried to calm her down, but she was clearly struggling. At first, I thought it was just a momentary thing, but the crying continued for almost an hour, super loud and nonstop. It was hard to hear anything over the noise, and some of the other guests were getting visibly uncomfortable. I eventually pulled Sarah aside and asked her if she could maybe step outside with the baby or take a break in the other room until the baby calmed down. I explained that it was just hard to enjoy the party with the crying. She was clearly upset and told me that I should be more understanding, since she can't just leave the baby at home. Get a babysitter. Or is there a partner in the picture? Or parents? Or, because that's the thing. If you go out to a bar, you're not gonna bring your baby just simply because you can't leave your baby at home. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get, like, if you're a mom, like, you still want to enjoy this stuff. You still want to participate. So, like, therefore, isn't it just kind of common sense that you need to figure out something to do with your baby instead of having it around a bunch of drunk adults and alcohol and, like, in not the most safe environment? Okay, should be more understanding since she can't leave the baby at home, and she was doing her best to keep her calm. She ended up leaving shortly after, and now she's not speaking to me. I feel bad because I know being a mom is hard, but also, like, it was my birthday and I wanted to have a good time without a crying baby. Some people think I was rude for asking her to leave, while others think I was just trying to protect the vibe of the party. Am I the butthole? Okay, OP has... Hello? OP has offered the following explanations for why they think they might be the butthole. So this is like follow-up type thing. I believe I might be the butthole because I asked my friend Sarah to leave my birthday party after she brought her baby, who was crying nonstop. I was frustrated by the disruption to the party. I feel like I may have been too harsh telling her to leave. I understand that being a parent is challenging and she's probably trying her best to manage, but at the time I was mostly thinking about how the crying affected the mood of the event and other guests. Now looking back, I wondered if I should have been more patient and understanding rather than asking her to leave, especially since it was my birthday party and I wanted to have a good time. Okay, so OP originally said that she didn't ask Sarah to leave. She just told Sarah to maybe step outside or go into a different room while calming down the baby. But now it seems like OP might be kind of fessing up to being like, yeah, okay, admittedly, I was a little harsh. So, like, low-key, depending on how she worded it, like, if she was, like, pulled her aside and was like, you need to leave with your stupid crying baby, then it's like, yeah, maybe, bring it down a notch. Like, obviously, it probably didn't happen like that, but, like, Okay, this person said, not the butthole. Her child is not your responsibility. Mine, you don't owe your newborn baby anything. Have you guys seen that meme? I'll insert it if I see it. That just reminded me of that. Her child is not your responsibility, and her inability to find childcare so that she can attend an adult function is not your problem to solve. Her giving you the silent treatment is called emotional blackmail. When it starts, it never ends. Hold firm and don't give in. She's the one, well, yeah, I mean, if she's like really strictly giving you the silent treatment and you're trying to apologize, that's kind of messed up, because it's like, well, do you want to like we're really gonna throw our friendship away when I'm trying to apologize? Like, what? Difficult babies are truly terrible, and she may be struggling, which doesn't make this okay, but may change how you respond. This is the important part. A first-time mom with a 7-month-old baby who won't stop crying is at best flooded with more hormones than a teacher, flooded with more hormones than a teenager. B, not getting a lot of sleep. And that's probably putting it mildly. OP might not be wrong, but with friends, oftentimes it's not so much about who is right or wrong. It's more about being understanding and supportive. Yeah, like, there's a potential that the original poster might, by the way, OP means original poster. Just letting you know a little bit of my Reddit knowledge. I know. I'm kind of a Redditor. No, I'm not. I'm really not. Okay, anyways. OP, yeah, what I was gonna say is that OP might have, what was I gonna say? Hello? What's going on with my brain? What was I gonna say? Okay, be for real. What was I gonna say? What I was gonna say is I don't remember. So, yup. Anyways, not the butthole, but potentially the butthole, pretending on how you worded it. Oh, what I was gonna say is that she's probably was more so like looking for like a little bit more compassion about the situation, about the fact that like, oh yeah, you guys hate to hear my crying baby for an hour. I have to hear this constantly. Which like isn't really like their problem, yeah, but it's also like to give the mom the benefit of the doubt. There's a chance that the OP was like a little like, you know, she was drinking too, like maybe she was a little harsh about it. So, are you the butthole based off of what you did? No. Are you the butthole based off of how you maybe came off or worded it or being insensitive? Potentially. Okay. Am I the butthole for ditching my dad's funeral 6 hours ago? What? I, 13, female. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna read this one, but I'm gonna be like really nice about it because this is a young person. Okay, I, 13, female, and my dad just died from a heart attack. Growing up, my dad was horrible, like horrible. He was the #1 reason why I had severe mental issues, why I was afraid to come out, and a whole lot of other reasons. Don't get me wrong, he was a great father, but never a good dad. He saved money for our college, he cared for us financially, but it was a bad trade-off with completely neglecting me emotionally. He also controlled my mom financially. That sucks. Anyways, I had to go to the funeral at first because I'm a teen living under my mom's roof, but decided to ditch when I saw my mom talking about how great he was. I just lost it, you know? Oh, this is hard. He was never good to my mom or me or my sisters, always yelling, always fighting, and sometimes he used to make my mom uncomfortable. I just up and went during the speech because I genuinely couldn't take it anymore. Now my sisters are mad at me, and so is my mom, and nobody will talk to me. I can get where they're coming from, but I'm not going to say it's completely my fault unless it truly is, and I'm just being a selfish teenager in an angst phase. Oh my God. Okay. Are you the butthole for how you feel? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that you're valid to how you feel, especially the trauma that you've endured because of your dad and also seeing the way that he's treated your family. Should you have walked out in the middle of the speech? Yeah, like, probably not. Like, in all honesty, probably not. Okay, yeah. Here, this person is better than me. They said, I'm not going to say that you're the butthole because you're 13 and your dad just died. That's also what I was going to say, is that, like, in all honesty, like, you are 13 years old and your dad just died. Like, I would probably be, like, punching random people on the street and, like, losing my mind. Like, I would, you know, I would not handle, I was, honestly, just based off of the way that you articulate yourself, you are a lot more emotionally intelligent than I was when I was 13, you know what I mean? You acted because you didn't know something. You didn't know it because nobody told you when you were 13. You weren't supposed to just know physically. But your mom is not thinking your clearest right now, so I won't blame her for not thinking to tell you. Funerals aren't for the dead. Funerals are for the living. So it doesn't matter that your father was a crappy dad or if he was fabulous, because the funeral may be about him, but it is for your mom and sisters. Yeah, it's like more so for the family, right? Like, the dad is dead, so like he doesn't know what's being said. Some people deal with their grief by only looking at the good parts of the person who passed. Yeah, that's not exactly dishonest. It's just a brain game our brains play with us without our consent. Other people deal with their grief by remembering the bad parts of the person who passed. That's another trick our brains play. It isn't a choice we make. This kind of person is maybe more prone to getting mad at the person who passed for passing, so none of the bad parts get fixed. Neither sides are wrong, just different. And it can be super hard when two different types of grieving at the same time doesn't mesh well. Remind yourself that you are just grieving in the way that you need to for your brain, but be as kind as you can to your family members who need to grieve in their own way. And apologize sincerely for the part that you regret, like maybe upsetting your mom and sisters on a day that they're already upset. That's true. That's true. Like, two things can be true at once, right? Like, you may have felt just and, you know, you had your reasons for walking out and you're also dealing with grieving, but at the same time, that did hurt your mom and your sisters. And so, you know, if you understand where they're coming from and why it hurts them, you can apologize for that part without necessarily focusing on the why, because they likely probably already know why, right? And I think that the why is not really important. It's more so just important to say, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that and I'm sorry, if you feel that to be true. It's hard because you're 13 and you're dealing with grieving. So, like, at the end of the day, like, I get it. I get why you did it. Like, I understand where you're coming from wholeheartedly. This is a tricky one, and the OP is young, so I'm not going to give much of a further opinion other than I understand why you did what you did. Don't beat yourself up. You're not the butthole. Your family's probably just a little upset because, you know, they may have felt, I don't know. The other person made a really good point about people like to remember the good, and, you know, I'm not going to put words in their mouth as to why they're upset, but it seems like you already, I think you said yourself, like, your sisters are mad. I can get where, you said yourself that you can get where they're coming from. So it's kind of that situation of, like, two things can be true at once. Like, you can't really take it back now. You can't go back in time. So the best you can do is just, like, apologize for hurting their feelings. And that doesn't mean that you have to admit defeat and be like, yeah, he was a great guy, like, whatever. You don't even have to focus on that part. But Yeah, super tricky one. Okay. Am I the butthole for losing it on my mom for buying chicken? Oh, God. Okay, so I, 21, hate trimming chicken. My mom, 45, female, also hates trimming chicken. We both hate it. The texture, the veins, the fat, everything. So obviously my mom continues buying chicken that needs to be trimmed and just tells me to do it. I try to say no, but she yells at me that if it goes bad, I'll be on the street. So I keep trimming it. Okay, that's a little dramatic. Last week, after I trimmed some chicken, I told mom to just stop buying chicken that needs to be trimmed because I'm not doing it anymore. She agreed, and I thought that was that. So this week, obviously, she bought more chicken and ordered me to trim it. I looked at the chicken, then looked at her, and then started yelling about how I thought she was going to stop, and I'm done with the stupid chicken. Now she's pissed, I'm pissed, the dog's pissed, everyone's pissed. I've never had to trim chicken. What kind of chicken is she buying? Is it like chicken thighs where it has like extra pieces of fat and stuff? What type of chicken needs to be trimmed? When preparing chicken for cooking, you typically need chicken thighs and breasts? I've never trimmed my chicken breasts. Maybe I buy breasts that are already trimmed. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, let me set this back down because I know that it's going to be too loud. At the end of the day, if your mom is purchasing the chicken and making dinner for your grown butt, trim the chicken. Like, be for real. Trim the chicken. Don't yell at her. She's making dinner for you. She bought this food and made it for you, and you're going to be ungrateful and you're going to yell at you because, oh, I have to trim the chicken. Oh, I have to trim the chicken. I don't like it. It's icky. I don't. Come on. Maybe she's buying it because you don't know why she keeps buying it untrimmed. Maybe it's like cheaper and she doesn't want to say that. Like, actually think about that because I know that you probably don't know the prices of groceries because you clearly don't buy your own, which guess what? You could do. You could buy your own groceries and you could make your own dinner and then nothing to complain about there. Can't yell at her, only get to yell at yourself. I think you might be the butthole. Okay, this person said, does your mom show other signs that she really wants you to move out or just the chicken thing? So you're 21 years old. But the first time the two of you have ever discussed the issue was a week ago when she agreed to stop buying untrimmed chicken. How were your chicken trimming needs handled prior to that? Was it always already trimmed, or is this a new thing? Are you living there for free and don't contribute to any other way? No cleaning, no cooking, no do nothing? To me, that's the only thing that would justify her demanding you to do this. Or because it's a disgusting chore. Yeah, but like if she's cooking dinner, I mean, if I'm cooking dinner for my kids, sure, it'd be dope if they trim the chicken for me. I probably would just trim it myself. But like, I mean, if my kid was an adult and I'm cooking dinner for them and they haven't moved out yet, I'm gonna want them to help participate in making dinner so that they know how to cook for themselves and such once they move out. Okay, OP said, my mom is okay at me living at home as long as I need and I'm actively contributing to the household and either in school or working full time. So at the moment I'm working full time, paying rent, okay, and cleaning whatever areas we've previously discussed that I regularly clean, okay. Would that include the chicken perhaps? I do most of the cooking, except when I work late, I've always had to trim the chicken. Pretty much ever since she could trust me to hold a knife. So just continue to trim the chicken. I don't get it. You go buy the chicken then. You don't have to yell at her. That is your mother. Okay, so it makes more sense now. If it's always been your job, she figures you've done it all this time, you can do it now. Sounds like you just need a good talk. Explain to her again that you hate it, and you will not be doing it again. Make an agreement that if it's gotta be chicken for dinner, the two of you will splurge on okay, so it does sound like it's more expensive. Yeah, that's actually a great solution. If he's like, listen, I'll go halvesies on this pre-trimmed chicken, bam, problem solved. Like if he is willing to pay even just like the difference between like pre-trimmed chicken and not pre-trimmed chicken, then there's literally no problem. Okay, are you the butthole? Like kinda, like you guys should just like talk before you resort to yelling at her. Like, because when you use the word yelling, like, there's no need to resort to even being rude to each other over this. Like, literally, you could just say, oh, I thought you were gonna buy the pre-trimmed chicken. And then if she says, oh, I forgot, or, oh, yeah, well, I didn't. Deal with it, pussy. Like, you could just say, okay, why? Is that because of, like, the price or something? Like, can we go halvesies on it next time? Like, can I chip in for the more expensive chicken because I really don't like doing this? Because there's no reason why she should say no to that, I feel. Okay, next. Am I the butthole for telling my wife she can't cook? You cook. Sorry, I'm always on the side, like, if there is a woman in these types of positions where they're, like, cooking and cleaning and doing a bunch of stuff, and it's just, like, the other person comes off as ungrateful, like, I'm sorry, I, like, immediately am like, you, like, you know what I mean? Just because I feel bad, like, I've seen my own mother unappreciated for her efforts and stuff, and nothing makes me more upset. Okay. Anyways, I, 29, male, have been with my wife, 28, female, for 8 years, and meals are just about the only place of contention in our marriage, but I'm scared she's going to kill someone someday. Okay, you don't need to be, like, belittling about it. Oh, my wife's cooking so bad, she's gonna kill someone someday. You don't, like, be for real. I get it. Haha. Funny, but the joke is also at her expense, like, and you're posting on Reddit about it, so. Okay, background. We split the cooking in our house 50-50, but when she cooks, I feel like I have to watch her like a hawk. She undercooks just about everything, especially meat. No matter how many times I try to politely correct her, she claims that I'm being picky. For example, every time she makes rice, I just, ooh, do we have some weaponized incompetence on the lady's side? Potentially. I'm smelling it out. I smell the raw meat, but then again, she has to eat the raw meat too, so, like, I don't, like, okay. For example, every time she tries to make rice, I can't convince her that it's 1 part rice to 2 parts water. She always says, are you sure? That seems like a lot of water, or maybe that's how you like it, but I don't want it so mushy. The package in Google won't convince her either. I just swallow my pride and eat the crunchy rice every time. Does she like the crunchy rice? It's like that with everything. Pasta, veggies, bread, meat. The thing is, I wouldn't care so much if it was just me, but she always wants to cook for our friends. She really prides herself on her cooking and wants to make everything herself. I just trail behind her trying to make sure it's all edible, but there's usually a few dishes that end up drastically oversalted or undercooked. Our friends will politely eat, but I've noticed they've been coming to fewer and fewer invitations for dinner. Things all came to a head the other night when she went to put on some chicken in the oven, and I was hopping in the shower. When I came out, she'd pulled the chicken out and said dinner was ready. I was skeptical and told her that it had only been 10 minutes. She said she pan-seared it first, so it was fine. And then when I came to look, the sides were literally pink. I snapped a little, and I told her she's going to someone someday from serving them raw meat. Can't you see that it's pink? That's food safety #1. She said she thought it was done. It's not her fault. Her mother never showed her how to cook chicken growing up, and then I told her, well, you're almost 30. That's no excuse for not knowing how to cook at all. Okay, you don't gotta be rude about it. You could be like, let me show you. It seems like there's a chance that she's not learning from you because you're not being too nice about it. Because you're being kind of demeaning about it. Like, if I was making crunchy rice repetitively and giving people salmonella, I'd probably be embarrassed about it. You know, like, that's the thing, but you can't put shame on her, right? Like, you can't make her feel, like, shameful or embarrassed of this and then expect her to come to you for, like, help, you know, when she's, like, embarrassed. Okay. This person said maybe both of you take a basic cooking class together as some sort of couple things. I don't know what to do about someone who won't agree that rice is 2-to-1 ratio when the packaging even says so. Possibly sit down with her when not cooking or eating, say, let's fix this cooking situation. You say your mother never taught you how to cook. I was harsh when I said that you should know by now. Are you actually open to someone teaching you how to cook? If she says no, then ask her what her solution actually is. If she says yes, then sign up for the cooking classes. You know what? I just realized I've not been putting enough water in my rice either, because my dad taught me to do 1.75 cups to 1 cup of rice. I've never done 2 cups, and sometimes some of my rice ends up a little crunchy. That's kind of crazy. This is so bad, but no, because after I'll be done cooking the rice, I'll notice that it's kind of crunchy, and then I'll add a bit more water, and then it will be fine. But like, I just like always listen to my dad because he was a cook. But clearly my dad and I must be using like different rice or something, because his rice turns out great. Mine doesn't when I do it that way. Anyways, people are just talking about washing rice. Okay, cool. Why are people talking about rice so much? Buy a meat thermometer and post chart with the temp for all the meats to be properly cooked. No more arguing about when it is done. I want a meat thermometer. This poor girl, she probably is low-key embarrassed about like not knowing how to cook. And so she just like eats her crunchy rice and doesn't want to admit that she's wrong. So maybe just approach her in like a sensitive way to like her feelings and the fact that she might be a bit embarrassed, instead of like a "I told you so" type way. Because if I was in this situation and my husband was coming at me with this whole like "I told you so" type mentality, I'd be like, "No, I actually don't like your mushy rice. I'll stick with mine." You know what I mean? Like, okay. Next. Am I the butthole for spending money saved on an engagement ring on a tattoo? A bit more than a month ago, my ex broke up with me out of the blue. I don't want to get into the details of the relationship or the breakup, but we had been talking about marriage before the breakup. We had settled on wedding bands and an engagement ring. I did not go to speech impediment therapy to just say wing instead of ring. Stupid. Okay. We had settled on the wedding bands and engagement ring. I am by no means well off and arguably live paycheck to paycheck, but I managed to always pay off my bills, save money, and budget money for fun, concerts, family dinners, trips to Ren fairs, cons, rallies, random events, etc. While still doing all of this, I managed to put aside several thousand for the engagement ring she wanted. After the breakup, I decided to go spend that money on myself. I bought myself my favorite bourbon, okay, a case of my favorite cigars. Okay, very manly. I finally finished a large tattoo sleeve that I've been working on for 2 years. The issue came when I started casually seeing a young woman. Let's call her D. No, that's my name. Don't call her D. That's me. What the heck? Ah! Do I know you? Do I know this person? No, okay. Okay, anyways. Let's call her D. I knew D before I met my ex, but we were more acquaintances than anything else due to life stuff, and honestly because I only had eyes for my now ex at the moment when I first met her. So D was it's so weird to say my own name here. D was the friend, oh, don't worry about her, but then you ended up hooking up with her. What do you mean by younger? Like, you're not giving details. But we knew enough about each other that she was familiar with the fact that I'm not one to just casually throw money around. Since this money wasn't budgeted or anything, well, not since the breakup, let's be honest, I'm heartbroken and I've been a lot more willing to say F it and spend money. Tonight I met D for dinner and drinks, and during the drinks part of the evening, she noticed my fresh ink and jokingly asked me if I had gotten promoted or hit the lottery. When I explained to her where this money had come from, she got real serious and told me that spending it like that was disrespectful, that I saved the money for something beautiful, and by wasting it proves that I never cared about my ex. D ended up leaving. Well, why does she want you to care? But she's like, why did you care about the woman before me? Like, I don't really get that standpoint of it. D ended up leaving me at the bar where I'm currently typing this up. Oh damn, because she was upset with me. Maybe it's the fantastic cocktails blurring my judgment, but am I the butthole for spending my money? I'm curious about a few things. Why you guys broke up, how young this younger woman is, because if you're going out with some 21-year-old and she's acting a little immature, but you're like 40, it's like, oh, well, I don't really blame her for acting a little immature. Wait, how old is this person? Oh, they don't even say. Okay, the OP. Oh, the OP is 50. Everyone's saying fuck D. No, guys, I'm sorry. Sorry, okay, I feel like people are so quick on these Reddits, like these subreddits, to like cling on to the poster's side, because obviously the poster's side is gonna seem biased, but like I'm trying to consider it with all factors. Like I'm trying to hear out the story from like, you know, a potential, like what if he like cheated on her? Well, I mean, I guess he still, has the right to spend his own money that he saved up. If he spent his own money that he saved up the day after they broke up and started seeing a younger woman, that's kind of like, what the hell? Like, that would kind of indicate that you didn't care about her that much, because it's like, damn, like, it's the day after you guys broke up and you're like, fuck her, I'm gonna go buy whiskey and cigars and meet up with this younger woman and get my tattoo. And well, I guess it probably would have been, I don't know, like, were you booking the tattoo consultation the day after you guys broke up? But then again, depending on the breakup, I can also understand acting impulsively like that, and also it's your money. This is a hard one. Okay. The comment says, not the butthole, these women are gone from your life. You have some nice new ink that will last forever. I don't know how old you are, but I'm almost 33 and regret not getting tattoos I wanted when I was younger because I now have kids and responsibilities, and I can't fathom getting a tattoo for the foreseeable future. You will meet someone that is right for you and save up new money to spend on that, but the money you had saved for your ex's ring could be spent however you wanted. Your new friend is lucky that you didn't go to a strip club with it. I mean, it's not the worst, thing to do with the money, in all fairness. I'll be 49 in April. I'm covered in tattoos now, but I say my right arm specifically for this sleeve. I might have to shave my head if I want any more ink, haha. And this person said, hey, so D sounds kind of crappy, using the money from the ring picked out specifically for the ex who broke up with you for something that will bring you a lifetime of joy almost a decade later, and I'm still positively giddy about my sleeves, is disrespectful. The flip are you supposed to do? Hang on to it until you're 97 and then travel to the middle of the Atlantic and drop it off the side of the boat while remembering the time that you effed Leonardo DiCaprio? What is this person talking about? What an absolutely bizarre thing to get upset about. It wasn't her relationship. It's not her ring. It's not her money. And it's not her ink. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't understand why she is upset. I feel like that couldn't be what she's upset about. She definitely, okay. I'm her. Oh, I see you got a new sleeve, you win the lottery or something?
Actually, my ex-girlfriend of 7 years and I just broke up last week, and the money that I was going to buy an engagement ring for her, I spent on this tattoo, so that's why I have the extra money.
Did she? Okay, no, she knew about this relationship. Maybe she's jealous. She could just be acting out because you're mentioning how you wanted to, marry your ex and you guys are actively on a date. You're not really supposed to talk about your exes on dates in general. So, I feel like her being upset isn't actually about the, oh, what, did you not care about your... She's probably just jealous and, doesn't know how to word it. And doesn't, know where to direct her anger type of thing, because it is kind of, you're not really supposed to talk about your exes on dates with someone, and you said she's younger, so there might be a bit of a maturity difference, which what do you expect then? But so I think you're not the butthole for spending your own money, but there's some decisions kind of in there that you probably could have handled more delicately, maybe. Okay, this is from r/nicotine pouch. Sorry, it just came up on my homepage and I'm now I want to read it. Girlfriend broke up with me for doing pouches. Long story short, she got mad at me for giving her friends 15 milligrams. They proceeded to vomit. Shortly afterwards, she broke up with me because of my addiction and told me if I wanted her, I'd have to quit. And then he put in parentheses, I never quit. What do you guys think about it? Overreaction on her part, ? I don't think pouches are that big of a deal, but how do you guys think they seem to outsiders? As many's first pouch is a drunk experience, I get the feeling that people haven't done more than a few of them and think that they're really bad. And this person said, I would say she's in the wrong, but you gave her friends 12 milligram pouch for the first time, bro. You knew what you were doing. You knew what was going to happen. And then OP said the full story is really crazy. This is just a snapshot. Her 3 friends were practically begging for me to give them one. Yeah, I knew what would happen, but sometimes people need to figure it out themselves. No, you could tell them. You could say, you're going to throw up. This is an extreme amount. Fearmonger them a little bit. As for your girlfriend breaking up with you, that might just be more so on oh, I love you, quit for me type situation. This isn't even an Am I the Butthole post. It's literally on r/nicotine pouch, so I'm not going to tell you whether or not I think you're the butthole. It just literally came up on my feed. Okay, let's see if any come up that are interesting. Am I the butthole for kicking my girlfriend out for diagnosing me? I, male 36, has been dating Mandy, female 34, for 6 months. My place is closer to her work, so she sleeps over a few nights a week and she has a key. She also finishes work earlier than I do, so she usually gets to my place before me. I have anxiety and I see a therapist once a month. I manage it by maintaining routines and schedules. For example, when I get home, I feed my cat first and then I wash my hands, start cooking, and then I clean up. I don't expect her to do anything around my house, but I do expect her to at least put her dirty dishes in the dishwasher. When I explained this to her, she asked, "Are you autistic?" Okay, no, I'm not. No, listen, I'm not gonna diagnose this person either, but them just naming the specific routine type things, I was like, oh, that sounds like me. I'm autistic. No, having like specific routines is like, yes, that is something that is kind of like known about autism, but it's also like just having generalized anxiety is like, they say this about a lot of mental health conditions, disorders. Like, if you feel as if there's a lack of control in your life, you seek out that control somewhere else. So if you're an anxious individual, if you're depressed, if you have OCD, if you have bipolar, if you have autism, if you have a lot of different things, it can kind of cause you to want to stick to routines or just have peculiar or specific ways to do stuff that kind of bring you a sense of control and, like, I don't know, just like make you feel better, you know? And it can mutate into being like a little rigid, you know what I mean? Not that I necessarily think this person is, but we're gonna keep reading. So, I don't expect her to do anything around my house, but I do expect her to at least put her dirty dishes in the dishwasher. When I explained to her, she said, "Are you autistic?" I said I didn't think so, and I added that this is just basic courtesy. Even if I was autistic, I'd expect the same. That's true. That's true. Because it does make it seem like, of course, autism is not an insult, but it makes it seem like, oh, like, you're being so uptight about this, like, are you autistic? Like she's almost using it in a derogatory sense to be like, oh, there must be something up with you, like, geez, chill out, do you have autism or something? But she kept doing it. I came home again to dirty dishes all over. She uses bowls for snacks and cups for drinks. When I asked her why she didn't put them in the dishwasher, she replied, "There's that tism again. You really need to get tested." Oh, hell no. She is being so, like, belittling. Girl, you're staying at his house, eating his food, eating out of his dishes. This is courtesy. This is courtesy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. I fear you're being gaslit, and none of this is about autism. It's about this whole, like, her trying to convince you, like, whoa, you're being crazy. There's that tism again. Like, girl, fuck them kids and fuck you too. Last night, when I got home, she asked me to grab her a can of Coke. I said I'd do it after I fed my cat. She yelled, "You autistic fuck! You can't even break your routine for a can of Coke. How long are you gonna be in denial? Just go get tested." Bruh, he's busy. Get yourself a can of Coke. Even if he does have this tiny little rigid routine that he follows when he gets home, why is she trying to, like, push you out of your comfort zone? Like, does she not realize how selfish that is on her end? That, like, he likes to follow a certain routine. It makes him feel good. It makes him feel in control. It's how he's lived his life. He's the only person in his life. You just walked into his life. You're staying at his place, and you're trying to be like, let me conduct this little experiment to see if I can get him to break his routine. That's, like, so messed up. Like, why do you intentionally want to see if you can make him step out of something that makes him feel comfortable and like, make him stop doing such minute things the way that he's always done them? Why can't you just let him do them instead of trying to secretly test him? I told her to leave. Whether I'm autistic or not is none of her business. She got mad and left. Later, she sent me a bunch of TikToks about autism. Oh, not the TikToks about autism. Next thing you know, she's gonna see you using a little spoon and be like, I knew it! Or she's gonna see you not using the big light and be like, you autistic fuck! I get all my info about autism from TikTok and I think I'm certified to diagnose you, when literally a plethora of disorders, such as just generalized anxiety disorder, which OP said that they have, would cause someone to feel a bit more comfortable with a routine. You know what I mean? And not even that, most people in general have some sort of routine, have some sort of, well, I am autistic, so I can't really fully speak about that, but most people that I know, apologies, my phone just died, which means that my mic is no longer plugged in, and also, yes, I do film on my phone. Okay, maybe YouTube can monetize me, and I won't have to do that. What I was saying is most people I know in general have some sort of routine or something that they like to stick to, whether it's like, oh, when they drink their morning coffee in the morning, they like to read, or before they go to bed, they have their time that they're scrolling their phone, and, you know, they don't really like being thrown out of that. Like, even if, like he said, even if he is autistic, that doesn't change the fact that he wants her to put away her dishes. And the fact that she gets her info about autism on TikTok, like, I'm sorry, as someone that's autistic myself, like, I meet too many people that get all their info about autism from TikTok, like, and they act a certain way. And then this person said, not the butthole, she sounds toxic as Flip though. And then this guy responded and said, yeah, for real, even in her imaginary world where he did have autism, why would she yell at him and call him an autistic Flip for sticking to his routine? Autistic people need accommodations, not abuse. She sounds awful. And it's not even an accommodation necessarily to put your dishes away and listen to his very simple requests. And it seems like you dodged such a bullet, because if she's acting like this, like making you feel gaslit and belittled over very simple, like, courtesy requests, like, it kind of sets a tone for, like, how she is going to be in this relationship, especially if she's not receptive to you explaining to her now, which you do seem to articulate yourself well, at least here, and so I'm assuming that you've said these points to her as well, and her response is to just send you a bunch of TikToks about autism. Like, you're missing the point. Like, does she think that if he gets diagnosed with autism, he's gonna suddenly just, like, let her leave her dishes all over the place and be like, oh, you're right, I'm autistic, so I have no right to say that this makes me uncomfortable, or that I don't like that you do this? Like, no, he's gonna continue to want you to put the dishes away. It's not gonna make him feel like he's ridiculous for making these requests if he were to get diagnosed. Like, it's not gonna have the effect you think it might. And this person said, if that's how she treats him in response to a slightly delayed Coke, imagine how she would be for anything even a little bit more significant. Yup. And yeah, like, for her to be like, oh yeah, can you pass me a Coke? And then he's like, okay, yeah, let me just feed the cat. Like, because he's in the middle of doing something. He's in the middle of doing something, and he's not your dad. And he's in the middle of doing something, and he's not your servant or your slave or your dad. So he's like, okay, just let me feed the cat first, like, 1 sec. And then she yells, you autistic fuck. Like, just call him the R word at that point. Damn, like, why does she want you to have autism so bad? This person said, yeah, that's the worst part for me. The girlfriend's logic here seems to be, OP gets diagnosed, OP starts masking behaviors I don't like, which to me is exactly why she would want him to get diagnosed, so that she can be like, see, you wanting me to put my dishes away is unjust somehow because it's a result of your autism. So he starts masking behaviors that I don't like, and then OP will be worthy of having a relationship with me if they stay together. What if they have a kid who's autistic? Even if not, is she gonna shame the kid for any behavior she doesn't like? She's being controlling and manipulative. That's the issue, not the autism, which of course. Okay, it's the whole argument of her being like, oh, why do you care so much if I put my dishes away? Whereas he could argue, why do you care so much that I want you to put your dishes away? Maybe you're the one that's being uptight. No, like, maybe you have OCD, because everything I know about OCD is from TikTok, so therefore I'm gonna drastically diagnose you with something that specialists diagnose. because I learned about it through TikTok. And so you have OCD because you are obsessed with this idea of me having autism. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's so dumb. Anyways, that is our last one for today. Not the butthole at all. I do suggest, though, if you haven't brought up these points to her, which you probably have, try bringing up these points to her and see how she reacts to that, and that will tell you everything you need to know. Anyways, thank you for coming. Thank you if you have made it to the end. Should I leave a little code? If you've made it this far, comment D is not a mean person. We love D because I got roasted earlier. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please leave a like and please leave a comment if you want to see more videos like this from me, because it motivates me to make these videos for you, especially since I am not monetized right now. And that is all. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.